Okay, so let's get right into it. By 2025, pretty much every company out there says they're using AI. But here's the thing, a huge gap is opening up. You've got a small handful of companies that are really, truly profiting from it. And then you have, well, almost everyone else, who are kind of just tinkering around. So what's their secret? First, let's just look at the sheer scale of this. An incredible 88% of companies are now using AI in at least one part of their business. I mean, that's up 10 points in just 1 year. AI is no longer this thing of the future. It's standard practice, it's here, it's now. But, and this is a big but, here's the paradox. Even with that massive adoption rate, less than 4 out of 10 companies, just 39%, are seeing any measurable impact on their bottom line. Think about that. There's this huge disconnect between using AI and actually benefiting from it. So that begs the question, right? What separates the companies that are reaping these massive rewards from all the others that are still kind of stuck in the pilot phase? Well, the data points to a surprisingly clear set of answers. And spoiler alert, it's not just about having the fanciest technology. The whole answer really comes down to this small elite group that the research calls AI high performers. You could say these are the companies that have totally cracked the code. Now, the definition here is really interesting. This isn't just about using a cool new tool or running some experiments. To be a high performer, AI has to be generating a substantial, measurable financial impact. We're talking more than 5% of the company's total earnings. It's all about tangible, cold, hard results. And the first major difference, it all comes down to ambition. The high performers are almost 4 times more likely to use AI to go for complete business transformation. While most companies are just looking for small, incremental tweaks, these guys are aiming to fundamentally change the entire game. This chart just perfectly illustrates that point. Take a look at the numbers. Pretty much everyone wants to be more efficient. No surprise there. But look at that huge gap when it comes to growth and innovation. The high performers are just as focused on using AI to drive top-line growth and to create entirely new business models. It is a completely different mindset. And this right here really gets to the core of it. High performers don't just plug AI into their old existing processes. Nope. More than half of them fundamentally rebuild how work gets done around the technology. That's nearly 3 times the rate of everyone else. It's a total overhaul. So where does all this ambition come from? The data couldn't be clearer. It's driven from the very top. Leadership at these high-performing companies is 3 times more likely to show real, tangible ownership and commitment to AI. For them, it's not some side project. It's a core part of their entire strategy. Okay, so this brings up the obvious question. What are these leaders actually doing differently? Well, it turns out there's a clear playbook they all seem to follow. Let's break it down. You know, the research shows this clear 5-step pattern that separates the leaders from the laggards. First, they define a crystal clear vision and strategy. Second, they get active leadership engagement right from the C-suite. Third, they aren't afraid to totally redesign work from the ground up. Fourth, and this one's key, they always keep a human in the loop, combining AI with expert judgment. And finally, they put their money where their mouth is. They invest, and they invest significantly. That fourth point, the human in the loop, is just so important. See, the most successful companies aren't trying to just replace people. They're creating what you could call hybrid intelligence, where the AI handles the insane scale and speed, and humans provide the wisdom, the context, the judgment. That combination, that's where the real magic happens. And this forward-thinking approach, it extends to the next big thing, AI agents. We're talking about AI systems that can independently execute complex tasks. While most companies are just starting to dip their toes in the water here, the high performers are already scaling them, deploying them 3 to 6 times more often. They're always pushing the envelope. So what does this great divide in strategy actually mean for the future? Well, it has massive implications, not just for company profits, but for the future of work itself. So if you ask everyone, you get a very mixed bag on jobs. A third of companies think they'll reduce their workforce because of AI, but the biggest group, 43%, expect no change at all. And then you have this small but significant group that actually expects to hire more people. It's all over the place. But here's what is clear. New kinds of jobs are absolutely being created. As you can see, larger companies are really leading the charge here. They're hiring for a whole bunch of different AI roles, like data engineers and machine learning specialists. So AI isn't just about automation, it's creating demand for entirely new skills. Now, check out this fascinating paradox. The companies that are winning with AI, they also report experiencing more problems. And you might ask, why? Well, it's because they're so ambitious. They're not just playing it safe in low-stakes areas, they're deploying AI in the most mission-critical parts of their business. And that forces them to confront and manage these big risks head-on, while everyone else is still, playing in the shallow end of the pool. And that really brings us to the ultimate conclusion here. The path to real success with AI isn't about playing it safe or just trimming costs. It's about having a bold, transformative vision and having the leadership with the guts to see it through. So this whole thing really boils down to one fundamental question for you and your own organization. Are you just plugging in a new tool to make your old processes a tiny bit better? Or are you using AI to fundamentally reimagine what your business can even be? Because the data is crystal clear. That, right there, is the real difference between just using AI and actually winning with it.